say, leave down in the comments, everyone, your experiences with internet friends and what are your thoughts on it? Because I think this could be an interesting discussion. Because I've always wanted to do videos where I make certain discussions.
Why's the club boss meeting us?
Anyways, go ahead, Idris. You can give your thoughts.
The Chicago South Club.
Well,
These assholes
like how
have been
you
preying
said
on
it's the
Chicago
internet
since
experience.
before
I
I was
mean,
born.
I didn't like.
could have done the city
Well, I
a
haven't
huge
really
favor if
gone
I
out
put
my
one
way
between
like
his
on
eyes.
Instagram and YouTube, but I believe I use
This is exactly
this
what I've
app
been trying to
called
stay away from.
Amino, which I don't
It
use
always comes
anymore.
back hard.
Like I've met like
That can't
some
happen
people. I
again.
mean, it's basically like a place where you can show interest. It's not just gaming. It's like
Kind
other
of like
things
the internet
music.
friend finder pages I
How'd it
mentioned.
go? You finished that job yet?
You thought I'd be okay working
Yeah.
for the fucking club?
Yeah, go
A
ahead.
paycheck is a paycheck.
Well, I met like just
You gotta
I met
start
people
separating
from
the
all over
morals
the
from the
place
moolah.
and.
Relax.
Well, at first
Listen, I
glance,
can hook you up with
glimpse
my
it was
guy. He'll find you better
fun,
driving
but
gigs if you want.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'll
yeah.
take them.
Oh yeah, I
Give me my
get you.
name.
It's just it's harder to go out your way. I mean,
Oh, and
to me, I'm more willing to put myself out there to somebody in a comment on my video or a post on my Instagram or a follower than somebody in real life going, "Hey, you seem so cool," blah blah blah. Because I'm like, oh, I mean, I know I mentioned don't the things and what people think, but it's just for some, it's just not, and me included. It's not easy to go, "Hey, you look really nice. You want to keep chatting?" And that's But as an example, I'll tell you guys my story of how I met internet
I've got
friends.
something for you.
Now I'm a
We need
guy
to meet.
who in life
face to
has had
face.
troubles talking to
for a
people,
guy
and
in a
I feel
mask.
like I'm very
No
shy, very
Just
nervous,
follow my signal.
and I stutter
I
a
thought you never
lot.
wanted to
Like I
meet.
feel like
I
I
know.
repeat myself,
But we
that
need
sort
to
of
meet.
thing. But I like the idea of internet friends immediately, and I knew about all the rumors, oh, they could be a pervert, or oh, they could be an 80-year-old man. And I knew that was bullshit from the start. Not saying like, again, not saying you shouldn't pay attention. You obviously got to pay attention, because don't like, even though I say some of that's bullshit, I'm saying that I'm saying it like this. It's bullshit, but still take it into consideration, because it exists, but it's not as bad as you think. But again, though, like, I have trouble speaking, and sometimes I feel like I'm very judged, and people like, I feel like I'm thankfully not like this guy who we had a talk about, hiding in my room. That guy's a fucking creep. But I feel kind of like that, but I would never want to be like that either, because, again, that dude's
I mean, I do
fucking
relate
creep.
to that guy some way, but then he does kind of like go to the next level.
Yeah. But I feel like it's harder for me to get to know people in real life, but I feel like everyone on the internet is like, say you post, again, with me in the hospital, people were very supportive. They said,
I'm
"Are you okay, Justin?" That sort of thing.
protected his identity.
Just, they feel a lot more
how
supportive,
DedSec
in my
works.
opinion. Anyways, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because
Andy.
I had often friends like that, but
unusual.
we never talked about like deep things. Like the
Alright, I'm gonna
person
try and
other
shake
than
him
my
off
friends
his
I
game.
talk to, like
Let's see what
those
he's
sort
up
of
to.
things, is just my cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And it makes you realize also, crap, let me pop my
Yeah, boy.
foot while I'm talking about this.
What? Bad boy, 17.
But yeah, it makes you realize
What the
that
fuck, man?
nobody's, oh, this cutscene. Nobody's perfect is what it makes you learn. Nobody's perfect. Everyone's gonna have their
Bad boy,
flaws,
17.
their failures in life, or they feel like, of course, it's like a normal friendship. You'll have your points where you guys get mad at each other. You'll have your points where you're like, what the fuck, man, or what the fuck. You'll have those points, no doubt.
Do I look
And
like
you'll
I
have
feel like
those.
Yeah, you look
Yeah,
like
go
a
ahead.
wild card.
My year was mostly
I
like,
hope I
what
don't
the
frighten
fuck.
you.
Do you have a
I
reason
mean,
to
I didn't
fight
have the best of times. I
Are you
often had
being
strained
paranoid?
relationships with people. I mean,
Same.
Someone's
2017
fucking
was
with my
like
life.
probably the worst year of
Threatening
my
my family,
life.
and
I
at the
mean,
same
it was
moment,
like, you know, the
2016
amino I was
was
mentioning
mine.
about.
He is a sheep.
What's
Like,
up,
I
man?
often,
He is a lie.
like, you know how I was saying about you know, last year, 2017,
I
like,
need to trust
you know how you were
Clara.
saying about what the fuck, you know, how you're
wouldn't
saying,
trust me
like,
if I were you.
people get mad at each other. I feel like I had a
But
lot of
here's a
that
reason to
moment,
listen.
like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like,
The text
I don't know, I
messages
just feel
sent
like I
me.
lost a lot of
I know
people,
where to find him.
Yeah, I've
myself,
had that
definitely.
You
too.
need to meet face to face for that.
I mean, I often, like, was really good friends with them,
We
then
needed
I
a
just
face to
became,
face
like,
for this.
that's it, like, I don't even
You
know
wanted
you, I
that
don't even
sex
Like,
Max.
gone.
Yeah, and then I just
You
had to
got
go
me
then.
in.
You know,
Yeah.
basically didn't go out. It's like, it was mainly, I'm mainly referring to that app, what I just said, Amino.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, you're not the first woman. to
And
propose
also,
to
it
me.
makes me
Well-
even more. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt
well, it
you
was
there.
quite a long story, but
You can discuss it
Well, I
if you
can't remember.
want.
They do all their nasty work through this.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
And they don't know I have access.
basically, you know how you have like these online websites, and you know how you kind of have leadership and like, have you heard of like
This is
Curator
powerful.
or something like that?
Just
I
don't
don't
be
think I
stupid.
heard of it, but I
Just go
think I
around
know what you're talking about.
worst.
Yeah, basically,
think
I'm
you
not
trust
trying to
me.
brag on about myself, or especially this
Give me a reason
branch
to
called
trust
the
you.
Call of Duty branch, Call of Duty Amino, and like.
Yeah, it's
how-
kind of like Reddit
like-
and stuff.
The guy sent the text.
Yeah, like
Or
I
it's like
really well-
GTA
We work
forums.
together. You
Yeah,
everything
it's
you
like-
just said.
It's
Me,
like the poor
trying to
man's
see-
version.
Poor man's version of GTA forums.
You're
Yeah,
not quite what
but
I
it's on an app.
expected.
No, though, I get what you're saying. It's like you feel like you can connect
And
with
you're
people,
exactly as I
similar
expected,
interests,
Aiden.
similar, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to brag on about myself, but with this little branch, like, I basically was like, well known. Like, I was like trying to be really supportive, like other leaders or let's say creators, like, weren't, and like,
Yeah.
basically, like, I met a lot of people. I became nice. This, that. I mean, I offered to do some things. I tried to be supportive, like, but like, basically a little dispute happened between me and the leader. Like, I wanted to get promoted, but I didn't. I mean, even
Kinda
a lot
had
of
some
people saying, like,
disagreement.
Am I talking to Bad Boy or
yeah, I
Clara?
got pissed off, and then
Voila.
basically he banned me from
we
it,
need
and
to
then
track your
like
caller.
months and months, it just
But he's sneaky.
basically like
He's
I-
bound his address through a CTOS
You
office
tried to
hours.
ask him like
Client
to
services,
unban me,
employees,
this, that, let me back in,
executives,
and all
things
that,
like that.
and then like
An
all
office
my other
tower.
friends, I just
We
felt
need
like
to find a way into the
they
system.
weren't there for me, the
Get
internet
me in.
friends, like they
I
were
give
just
you the
like.
location.
I can
This,
get
that.
into
I'm
the
like, why
building
don't
where
you
they're
do
most
another
vulnerable.
meters, this, that?
Check
I'm
out where
like,
they
I
take
don't want
deliveries.
this, that.
Looks
I mean,
like
I feel like people weren't supportive
In the
and,
tunnel.
you know,
I'll start there.
so on. I mean,
Hey,
even
I'm
like
sorry, I was
after, like,
rough
way a
before.
couple of months
I
after,
know
people
what you
were
were
saying to me,
doing, trying to
hi, I could
intimidate
this,
me.
that, like, it
Very
sucks that you got
textbook.
banned because I really like your stuff
Stepping
and
into my
all
personal
that.
space.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even from people that I didn't
Physical
even know.
contact. You're
properly.
trying to look for cracks. So
Right,
did you find
yeah.
any?
When you love to know.
And I've gotten it too, where like, for example, that same account I was telling you about, I joined a stream the other day, and some of the people who I talked to were like, "Oh, look, it's Justin," or "Hey, I see Justin," and then the owner, the same one who I said I talked to, was like, "Wow, a lot of people know Justin." But I would never brag at the same time, like, "Oh, I'm cool because I know a bunch of people." I'm still a regular person, no doubt. But it's just cool when you see recognition like that.
Yeah.
And you can find people with similar interests. Like some of the ones I know, they love movies like I do. They love the same music, which again I mentioned is metal music like Linkin Park, Metallica,
Yeah.
classic music, all the good shit, guys.
Yeah.
Enjoying action films, and I feel like I could really connect with people. And
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I mean, also like not just like civil interest, but like I don't know, but, like I'm not trying to say too deep, but like similar, like you know how you have diagnosis and you have like support in school, whereas I do as well because I have like
Yeah,
autism.
for those who don't know what he's talking about, for the American viewers, that's pretty much where, in my state, Texas, you have a thing called content mastery, which the thing got on my nerves so quickly. Not like trying to be like a dick and say, "Oh, I don't need help. I'm the smartest person," but it felt like they kept going, "Hey, Justin, do you got it? Hey, Justin, do you got that?" Yeah, I mean, I get you 100%. You can also find people who, like I said, I've encountered people with all different styles. People who feel like they have a good life and they ran through, and people who've been through stuff. But yeah, no,
But I don't know.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if it's me, but I feel like people with those sort of problems, like difficulties and like, you know, people like with such similar issues, like with us, for example. I don't know if it's me, but I feel like they're like the nicest people.
They are. Like, I'm not gonna name any names with people, but I've ran into people who have. Again, I'm not gonna name any names because I'd rather not have anybody be like, "Oh, why are you mentioning that I had this?" Because you know, that stuff's personal to people. But I've ran into people with anxiety, with with social anxiety, people who have depression, people like me with ADHD. And again, we're not, yeah. When we say that, of course, we're not saying, oh, they have a certain condition. That's really cool. We're not saying that at all, or anything. To make that clear. It's just, you know, it's like you can feel it. Yeah, I'll let iKid explain this because I'm going all over the place.
I'm so sorry. My dad came in and he just telling me something like I had to put my alarm to go to my college and you know.
Ah, that's fine. But I was saying, even though we say people who we're not saying that those problems are, oh my God, so cool, just to make that clear.
I mean, that equates to what I'm gonna say because there was this friend I have, like,
I'm in the building.
like
You see what's
basically
ahead?
I met in secondary school, like yes, basically you know in our school, in our
God, no
country,
doubt.
secondary school from year
those
10
hacks I
like I met
uploaded
this
to your
guy from the
phone?
beginning, like
It's perfect
he's actually a
distraction.
proper friend, like
You
he's
can
like,
disrupt
I mean
the
he had the
equipment
same
and guard in there.
but then like
Yeah.
he was just like, you know how I say similarly how I said like people in college like say greeting. I mean, he was that type of guy, and he's like that type of guy that I could talk deep stuff with. I mean, I remember like there was this one time, yeah, in I think year 10. Like it was like a couple of days, yeah, or perhaps even a week, yeah. Like he literally never said a freaking word.
Same.
The only guy who was there, like just like Reese, are you okay? Even saying to me like, we have like you
Hey,
know
bud.
teacher and coach you are, and basically she was saying to me, "I'll talk as I am," and then she was also basically saying like going to the people are just so like-minded and they just talk to everyone.
Yeah,
They're not
sure.
aware of communities. I mean that's the thing with a lot of the people who have careers like that they're never aware of people who are suffering such things. I mean at least yeah, even though you don't know the place, at least ask them are you okay even if you're not related to them.
Yeah, for sure. I
They know
mean,
that you-
no, I get you 100% because another thing I've ran into again, I'm not going to name any names with any of the people I've ran into with their conditions because I would feel like a dick if I did, but I've had people who feel like they trust me. With some people, I've had to earn it with them, which is fine, you know, not everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, I trust you immediately and all that. But I felt it to where like, oh yeah, I trust you and I feel like I can tell you so-and-so thing. So yeah, I get you. And even with my family, I even talked to my dad, who a lot of people who, when they meet me in person and on the internet, they say when I show or I have mentioned my dad, they say I'm very similar to him, right? I even told my dad, who he has a friend of his, who I won't say his name, but I'll tell you right now, it starts with a T, so I'm just going to use T for his name. I said, oh, me and Nick, we're very similar to T, and he's like, yep, I agree. Because if you're wondering, he was in the Coast Guard, and he was born in my state, Texas, but in the 90s, the early 90s, he was stationed in California, right? And there's this dude he met, now back then, the internet wasn't like how it was today, of course. Not even close. But he had gotten to know him, but you get the idea, it was long distance. Someone getting to know somebody from another state. And they still talk today. Like,
it's not just an
I even said to him, I'm like, me and Nick are a lot like T, and he's like, yep, I agree, when people say like that we're similar, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you in. Can you track the caller?
Sorry if I feel like I'm rambling or apologizing, but
I mean, funny enough, like you already know, but like to some viewers, like I have similar to how we said about your uncle T. Like I mean, I still talk to him to this. It's been 2 years, and I mean, well, you know he's a guy. You know, there's like the weird family tree and how he's my nephew.
Oh yeah.